Okay, lesson 5-5, solving word problems. Okay, we know that if we take the largest number in our word problem, if our answer is going to be greater than that number, we are going to add or multiply. If our answer is going to be less, we are going to subtract or divide. Once we know, okay, we're adding or we are multiplying, then we come down here to equal groups. If our answer is going to be, they're telling us that we have equal groups, so we're taking candy and dividing it equally among 5 students, and we know we have equal groups. Or if perhaps we're dividing it up and the first child gets 2 pieces of candy and the second child gets 3 pieces of candy and the third child gets 6 pieces of candy, you know, we have 17 pieces of candy total. How many does the 5th person get? Then we know we do not have equal groups, okay? So if our answer is going to be less, we are going to subtract or divide. Once we know, okay, we are coming up with a smaller number, so we're going to subtract or divide, we come down here to equal groups. If it is equal groups, we are going to divide. If it is not equal groups, then we're left with subtraction. So take a minute, and I want you to copy this part down on the back of your Reteach page. So pause it so you can see it, and then come back. Okay, let's look at the Reteach page. You can use a bar diagram to find an unknown in a multiplication or division word problem. So let's take a look here. Lane has to pack 45 shirts into boxes of 9. That means there's 9 boxes in each shirt. We want to know how many boxes will they need. Well, let's take a look here. If we have a total of 45 shirts, and in the first box, we put 9 of them. And we're going to keep putting 9 in a box until we get to 45. Okay, so are we going to use more than 45 boxes or less than 45 boxes? We take our biggest number, which is 45, and we ask, is our answer going to be more or less than that biggest number? There's no way we can use more than 45 boxes because we only have 45 shirts. Even if we put 1 shirt in each box, we would still only use 45, which is not greater than 45. So our answer is definitely going to be less. So we're either going to subtract or divide. So we can do 45 minus 9, or we can do 45 divided by 9. So the question is, we know we're going to subtract or divide. The question is, do we have equal groups? Is there the same number of shirts in each box? Yes, so we are going to divide. So 45 divided by how many boxes equals 9 in each box. So we have to keep going. 9 plus 9 is 18, plus another 9 is 27, 36, and then we finally get to 45. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 45 divided by 5 equal boxes equals 9 shirts in each box. There are 5 groups of 9 and 45, so Lane will use 5 boxes. Remember your 9s trick, right? So this is the same as 9 times what equals 45, right? This number times 9 equals 45. So with our 9s trick, whatever this number is that we're multiplying by, this is 1 less. So if we want to know what number is 4 1 less than. So if you have this number here, this is going to be 1 less than that. So that must be 5, because if it's 9 times 5, we're going to start with 4. And 4 plus 5 equals 9. So there's always the 9s trick to work with that as well. Okay, Elsa has 36 buttons. She uses 6 buttons to make 1 bracelet. How many total bracelets can she make? Let's complete the bar diagram. Okay, so we have 36 buttons, 6 buttons total. Our question, how many total bracelets can she make? So she has a total of 36 buttons. She's going to use 6 buttons on 1 bracelet. So again, let's just draw a picture so we can understand what it is we're talking about. So she has a total of 36 buttons. On this first bracelet, she uses 6 buttons, right? On the second bracelet, she's going to use 6 buttons. On the third bracelet, she's going to use 6 buttons. We want to know how many bracelets can we draw or can we make with each one using 6 buttons to get, and we use up all of our 36. So is our number of bracelets that we make going to be greater or less than 36? Yes, it has to be less. We can't make more than 36 bracelets. We're using 6 buttons every time. So we're using this 36 up. I mean, we've already used 18 of them just to make 3 bracelets. We cannot make more than 36 bracelets. So our answer is going to be less. So we're either going to subtract or divide. We can either do 36 minus 6 or 36 divided by 6. So the next question is, do we have equal groups? There's exactly 6 buttons used on each bracelet, so that is equal groups. So we will divide. So we want to do 36 divided by 6. So we can use a bar diagram. We put 36 on the top. There are how many buttons in each bracelet? 6. And we want to keep drawing our bracelets. We're using 6 buttons each until we get to 36. Okay, 6 plus 6 is 12. Another 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 12 is 24. Okay, 24 plus 6 is 30. And 30 plus 6 is 36. So we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we know there are buttons on each bracelet is 6. So 6 groups of 6 buttons each equals 36, or 36 divided by 6 equals 6. So she can make 6 bracelets. Mitch plays 5 songs each time he practices the piano. He practices 7 times a week. How many songs does Mitch play during his practices each week? Complete the bar diagram. Okay, so our question is, how many songs does Mitch play during his practices each week? For the whole week total, how many songs does he play? Okay, 5 songs each time he practices. He practices 7 times. So all right, so he practices 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are all of his practice times. The first time he practices, he plays 5 songs, he plays 5 songs, he plays 5 songs. He's playing 5 songs every time he practices. So is he going to, if we need to group these all together, add them up, right? So how many songs does he play during the practice? Our biggest number is 7. Is it going to play more than 7 songs or less than 7 songs? Yes, it's going to be more than 7 songs. So it's going to be greater. We can add or we can multiply. Do we have equal groups? Does he play the same number of songs each day? Yes. So we are going to multiply. So we are going to multiply 7 times 5. Okay. He has 7 practices, and in each practice, he goes 5 songs. So this is just like I drew, but we're going to do it in a bar diagram to remind us to put our answer on top. So 5, 10, 15, 20, you finish counting. Count by 5s and write your answer right there. So you should get 35. Okay, on the back. Janie buys some pizza for a party. Each pizza is cut into 8 slices. There are 56 slices in all. How many pizzas did Janie buy? Okay, underline the question and circle your numbers in the problem. Pause it and come back. Good, so you should have underlined, circled, and circled. Okay, so let's first draw a picture, make sure we understand it, okay? There's 56 like individual pizza slices, and each pizza is cut into 8 slices. So let's get this up. Okay, so first draw your pizzas. Okay, we don't know how many pizzas to draw, but each pizza has 8 slices. Okay, we want to know how many pizzas do we have to keep drawing to get a total of 56 slices. Okay, the question is, how many pizzas did they buy once they cut them up and they got 8 slices? And they cut this one up into 8 slices. So we got 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. How many pizzas do we need? Okay, so the question is, are the number of pizzas going to be greater or less than 56? Yes, it should be less. If we had 56 pizzas and we cut them into 8 slices, we would have, well, if we had, they want to know how many pizzas. We don't want more than 56 pizzas, because then we would have way more than 56 slices once we cut each one into 8. Okay, so we are talking about less, and we do have equal groups because there's 8 slices per pizza. So we're going to divide. Okay, so I want you to draw a bar diagram on the back. Okay, draw a bar diagram on the back, pause it and come back. Okay, your bar diagram should have 56 on the top. And then we should be drawing, this is 8 slices and 8 slices, and we just have to keep going with our 8s until we get to 56. So you have to figure out, how am I going to add 8 and 8? If you know 8 plus 8 is 16, if you know 8 times 3 is 24, that would help even more. But we might just have to work with 16 here, okay? So every time we have 2 groups of 8, that's 16. So 16 plus 16 is not going to be up to 56. We may also know oh look, we have 8 and 5 and 6. We might be able to figure out what number's missing with that trick that we have when we see 5 and 6. 5, 6, maybe. Okay.